Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that you're in a cozy little room. The temperature is just right. The chair you're sitting in is incredibly comfortable, and everything you need is within arm's reach. Now, why would anyone want to leave that room? It's safe, it's predictable, and it's comfortable. But let me ask you this. What if staying in that room meant missing out on the rest of your life? We all have our own version of this comfortable room. Our comfort zone, it's where we feel safe and in control. It's that place where routine takes over, where the unknown is kept at bay. We avoid risks and challenges because, let's face it, they make us uncomfortable. But here's the kicker. Growth never happens in comfort. Now, you might be thinking, why should I step out of my comfort zone? What's so bad about being comfortable? Let's explore that together. Have you ever felt stuck, like you're running on a treadmill but not getting anywhere? Or maybe you've watched opportunities pass by feeling that nagging regret because you didn't seize them. These are signs that your comfort zone has turned into a trap. Let me share a little story. When I was younger, I thought I had it all figured out. A decent job, a routine that worked, and I felt secure. But then I met a remarkable man who challenged me to look beyond my little room. He asked me questions that shook me to my core. Are you satisfied with just getting by? What dreams have you let slip because they seem too risky? Those questions were a wake-up call. You see, our comfort zone is like a soft cocoon that keeps us safe from the world's harsh realities. But staying in it for too long can lead to a life of mediocrity. It's like planting a tree in a small pot. The tree might grow, but it will never reach its full potential because its roots are confined. Just like that tree, if we confine ourselves to our comfort zones, we'll never experience the vast possibilities life has to offer. Stepping out of your comfort zone means embracing uncertainty, facing challenges, and taking risks. It's not about throwing caution to the wind. It's about recognizing that discomfort is a sign of growth. It's about understanding that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone to success. Think about it. When was the last time you did something for the first time? That rush of excitement, that sense of achievement, that's the magic that happens outside your comfort zone. Why is it important to step out? Because life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Every great success story involves someone who took a leap of faith, who dared to venture into the unknown. Look around you. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every personal achievement starts with someone deciding to challenge their limits. Let's take a closer look at this thing we call the comfort zone. What exactly is it? Simply put, it's that space in your life where you feel at ease, where everything is familiar, predictable, and safe, where you go through the motions without much thought because everything is routine. You wake up, go to work, come home, and repeat. There's no risk, no challenge, and most importantly, no growth. How does this comfort zone develop? Well, it starts small. Think back to when you were a child learning to ride a bike. At first, it was terrifying. The idea of balancing on two wheels seemed impossible. But with each try, each fall, and each success, you got better. Eventually, riding a bike became second nature. The same principle applies to many areas of our lives. Over time, we build routines and habits that make us feel secure. We learn what to expect, and we stick to what we know. As we grow older, the stakes get higher. The risks seem greater, and the fear of failure intensifies. So we stick to our safe zones. We choose the familiar path, the secure job, and the predictable routines. We convince ourselves that staying within these boundaries is the smart thing to do. But let me ask you, is it really smart, or is it just safe? Think about a ship in harbor. It's safe there, protected from the storms of the open sea. But that's not what ships are built for, is it? They are meant to sail, to explore, to face the elements. Similarly, we are not meant to stay anchored in our comfort zones. We are meant to grow, to explore our potential, to push our boundaries. You see, the comfort zone gives us an illusion of safety and security. It tells us that as long as we stay within its confines, we won't fail, we won't get hurt, and we won't face rejection. But what it doesn't tell us is that we also won't grow, we won't achieve our dreams, and we won't experience the fullness of life. The comfort zone is like a cocoon. It keeps us protected, but it also keeps us from spreading our wings. If a caterpillar stayed in its cocoon, it would never transform into a butterfly. Similarly, if we stay in our comfort zones, we will never realize our full potential. We have to break free, face the discomfort, and embrace the uncertainty to truly grow and transform. So why do we cling to this illusion of safety? It's because our brains are wired to avoid pain and seek pleasure. We prefer the known over the unknown, even if the known is limiting us. We tell ourselves stories to justify our choices. I'm too old to start something new. What if I fail? It's too risky. These are just excuses, my friends. excuses that keep us trapped. Let's challenge these excuses right here, right now. And ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen if I step out of my comfort zone? Maybe you fail. Maybe you face rejection. But let me tell you, failure is not the end. It's a teacher, a stepping stone. Every successful person has a trail of failures behind them. It's through these failures that they learned, adapted, and eventually succeeded. What if the discomfort you fear is the very thing you need to grow? Discomfort is a sign that you are stretching, that you are pushing your limits. It's where the magic happens. When you face your fears and step out of your comfort zone, you open yourself up to new experiences, new opportunities, and new growth. I want you to take a moment and reflect. What areas of your life are you playing it safe? Where are you settling for comfort instead of striving for growth? It could be in your career, your relationships, your personal development, or even your health. Identify these areas and make a commitment to change. Start small and take one step outside your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be a giant leap. Maybe it's learning a new skill, meeting new people, or taking on a new challenge at work. Each step, no matter how small, builds your confidence and expands your comfort zone. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes your new normal. Just remember, growth and comfort cannot coexist. To achieve your dreams, you must be willing to step into the unknown, to embrace discomfort, and to challenge yourself. It's not easy, but it's worth it. As you push your boundaries, you'll discover strengths you never knew you had. You'll achieve things you never thought possible. And most importantly, you'll live a life without regrets, knowing that you gave it your all. Let's take a deeper look at how we can recognize when we're stuck in it. One of the clearest signs is stagnation and lack of growth. Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions, day after day, without any real progress or excitement? Stagnation. It's when life becomes a series of repeated actions with no forward movement. When was the last time you learned something new or took on a challenge that made you nervous? If you can't remember, it's a sign that you've settled into your comfort zone. Growth happens when we push ourselves beyond what we know, when we stretch our abilities and skills. If you're not feeling challenged, if you're not expanding your knowledge or capabilities, you're stagnating. Think about a plant in a pot that's too small. It might still be alive, but its growth is stunted. It's the same with us. When we don't give ourselves room to grow, we limit our potential. We might feel safe and secure, but we're also missing out on the vibrant, dynamic life that comes with continuous growth. Just another telltale sign is fear of change and taking risks. Ask yourself, how do you react when faced with a new opportunity? Do you feel excited, or does fear immediately take over? Do you find yourself thinking about all the things that could go wrong? If fear is holding you back, you're not alone. It's a common human response to the unknown. Fear can be a powerful force. It can paralyze us, making us cling to the familiar, even when it's no longer serving us. But let's put fear into perspective. What are we really afraid of? Failure, rejection, embarrassment. These are temporary setbacks, not permanent conditions. They are part of the learning process, part of the journey towards success. Fear is natural, but it shouldn't control our decisions. It's there to protect us, but often it oversteps its bounds and keeps us from experiencing life fully. When we confront our fears, we realize they're not as insurmountable as we thought. We gain strength and resilience, and we open ourselves up to new possibilities. Common excuses that we make for staying in our comfort zones. These excuses are often disguised as logical reasons, but in reality, they're justifications for avoiding discomfort. Here are a few you might recognize. I'm too busy. This is a classic. We fill our days with tasks and activities that keep us busy, but not necessarily productive. Being busy can be an excuse to avoid tackling the things that really matter, the things that challenge us and push us to grow. I don't have the skills or experience. This is another common excuse. We convince ourselves that we're not ready, that we need more time, more training, or more experience before we can take the next step. But let me ask you, how do you gain skills and experience? By taking action, by trying, failing, and learning. No one starts out as an expert. We become one through practice and perseverance. It's too risky. Risk is a part of life. There's no reward without risk. Every successful person has taken risks to get where they are. They didn't wait for the perfect moment or the guaranteed outcome. They took calculated risks, learned from their failures, and kept moving forward. Staying comfortable where I am. Comfort is tempting, but it's also deceptive. It lulls us into a false sense of security, making us believe that it's better to stay where we are than to take a chance on something new. But comfort can quickly turn into complacency, and complacency leads to regret. How do we overcome these excuses and step out of our comfort zones? It starts with a shift in mindset. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, think about what could go right. Instead of seeing challenges as threats, see them as opportunities to grow. Instead of fearing failure, embrace it as a necessary part of the learning process. Let's do a little exercise. Think about one area in your life where you've been playing it safe. Now, write down one small step you can take to push beyond your comfort zone in that area. It doesn't have to be a big leap. It could be something as simple as starting a conversation with someone new, signing up for a class, or volunteering for a new project at work. The key is to take action, no matter how small. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate fear or discomfort, but to learn to navigate through them. Each step you take outside your comfort zone builds your confidence and expands your horizons. You'll discover strengths you didn't know you had, and you'll open yourself up to new possibilities. You see, stepping out of your comfort zone is one of the most profound acts you can commit to for personal growth. It's not just about facing fears or taking risks. It's about opening yourself up to a world of possibilities that you never knew existed. When you take that first step beyond what feels safe, you begin to discover strengths and capabilities that were hidden within you all along. Imagine a seed planted in the ground. As long as it stays underground, it remains just that, a seed. But when it pushes through the soil, it transforms into a plant, eventually bearing fruit. That's the power of stepping out. You transition from potential to reality, from dreams to achievements. This personal growth isn't theoretical. It's tangible. You become more resilient, adaptable, and creative. These aren't just traits. They are tools for life. Think about the new experiences that await you. Every time you take a step into the unknown, you gain a new perspective. You meet new people, learn new skills, and encounter opportunities that would never come your way if you stayed within your familiar bounds. Take, for instance, the story of a man named Steve who started his career in a small, comfortable role at a tech company. Steve Jobs. Perhaps you've heard of him. He could have stayed in that comfort zone, content with his secure job, but he dared to step out, to innovate, to challenge the status quo. And in doing so, he revolutionized entire industries and changed the way we live. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I fail? That's a valid question. Here's another story for you. Have you heard of J.K. Rowling? Before Harry Potter became a household name, she was a single mother on welfare, writing in cafes while her child slept. She faced numerous rejections from publishers. But she didn't retreat to her comfort zone. She persisted. She took the risk. And the rest is history. The key lesson here is that every success story is filled with moments of doubt and fear, but they are also filled with courage and perseverance. Taking risks leads to growth, and growth leads to opportunities. When you step out of your comfort zone, you are not just opening the door to potential success. You are also closing the door on regrets. Ask yourself, what will I regret more in the future? The risks I took that didn't pan out, or the opportunities I never pursued. More often than not, it's the missed opportunities that haunt us the most. So how do we overcome the fear and resistance that holds us back? Let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is a natural response. It's there to protect us from harm, but often it also protects us from progress. It's the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of the unknown. These are all part of the human experience. But here's the secret. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's taking action despite it. Let me share with you some practical strategies to overcome these fears. Break down your goals into smaller, manageable steps. It's less daunting to take a series of small steps than one giant leap. Celebrate each small victory along the way. This builds confidence and momentum. Reframe your mindset about failure. Instead of seeing it as a dead end, view it as a learning experience. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Each failure brings you one step closer to success." Surround yourself with supportive people. Find mentors, join groups, and connect with others who are also striving to grow. Their encouragement and shared experiences can provide you with the strength to push forward when you feel like giving up. Finally, visualize your success. Close your eyes and see yourself achieving your goals. Feel the emotions of that success. This positive reinforcement can help mitigate the fear and keep you motivated. Stepping out of your comfort zone is not about being fearless. It's about fearing less. It's about trusting yourself, believing in your potential, and daring to take that first step, no matter how small. Remember, the comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Growth, change, and fulfillment lie just beyond that boundary. So I challenge you today, take that step. Embrace the unknown. Your future self will thank you. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't just change your life. It creates a ripple effect that impacts everyone around you. When you grow, when you take risks and push beyond your limits, you set an example for others. You become a source of inspiration, a beacon of possibility. Imagine the influence you can have on your family, friends, and community simply by daring to pursue your dreams. Think about a pebble tossed into a pond. The ripples extend outward, touching everything in their path. Your courage and willingness to step out work the same way. Your actions can inspire someone close to you to take their own step forward. Your growth can encourage a friend or a colleague to reevaluate their own boundaries. You might be surprised at how your courage can spark a chain reaction of positive change. Consider how individual growth impacts relationships. When you push yourself to be better, you often become more understanding, more empathetic. Your new experiences bring fresh perspectives that enrich your interactions with others. You start to see the world with wider eyes, appreciating the challenges and triumphs of those around you. This deepens your connections and strengthens your relationships. Communities also benefit from individuals who step out of their comfort zones. When people pursue their passions and take risks, they often develop new skills and ideas that contribute to the community's growth. A person who starts a small business, for example, not only changes their own life, but also creates jobs and stimulates the local economy. This ripple effect can lead to a more vibrant, dynamic community. How can your courage inspire others? And picture yourself taking that first bold step. Maybe it's starting a new project, learning a new skill, or reaching out to someone new. Now imagine the impact of that step. Your action might encourage a coworker to tackle a challenge they've been avoiding. It might inspire a friend to pursue a long-held dream. Your children might see your example and learn the value of resilience and determination. This is the power of the ripple effect. As we draw to a close, let's summarize the key points. Stepping out of your comfort zone is essential for personal growth and discovering new opportunities. It's about embracing change, facing fears, and taking risks to transform your life. We've seen how individual growth can create a ripple effect, inspiring those around you and benefiting your community. We've also explored real-life stories of people who stepped out, faced challenges, and experienced remarkable transformations. Stepping out of your comfort zone is crucial for achieving your fullest potential. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. So, I challenge you to take that first step today. Look at your life and identify one area where you can push beyond your current boundaries. It might be a small step, but remember, even the smallest step can lead to significant change. Your future self will thank you for the courage you show today. Don't let fear hold you back. Embrace the unknown, take risks, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined. The world is waiting for you to step out and make your mark.